everybody's disagreement about the current changes that is happening in football can be justified in one way or the other. You know that football, according to Arsene Wenger, is a game of passion, and it has culture, has heritage, like Mourinho always say. So it's justifiable when people are not really happy with some of those changes. But as a stakeholder or as a club director, or as a sports property owner, those changes are not changes that you should react to. Those changes are changes that you should strategize toward. These changes are changes you should start positioning yourself for. Because by the end of the day, have you actually looked through the logic behind the financial fair play that regulates sports properties from overspending? When you look at it, you will understand that there is no stopping when it comes to sports commercialization, because the whole ideology behind the FFP is the fact that uh, the rule is not to allow clubs to induce, especially clubs whose owners are, billionaires, not to induce unfair uh, funds into the club, giving the rest disadvantage. So when the financial fair play cuts down on subvention and club owner subvention leverage, it's not left for the clubs or the sports properties to be able to generate revenue. In other words, you can be able to spend to the amount of revenue you can generate as a club or as a sports property. This also tells us that the club or academy ought to be an entity on its own. It have to be a business entity providing for itself. So that is the whole logic behind financial fair play, right? Now, if we understand that aspect, it simply tells us that the commercialization of sports can only get better over time. Because for clubs to be able to sustain the high pace, for clubs to sustain the high demands of operations, it also means that there must be a high revenue generation mechanisms that continue to sustain the operations of football day-to-day activities. So when we understand these aspects, the ideology behind, you know, we are spoiling the game, we are killing the fun of the game. You can't really kill the fun of the game if there are no funds to fund the fun. So we need the funds. The game need the funds. That is why the branding will keep coming, the commercialization will keep increasing. As a stakeholder, this is where you come in. You have to be asking yourself, how can we position for these changes? How can we position our sports property to also experience the dividends of commercialization, to also enjoy the fruitfulness of commercialization? So that is the area that you need to be working on, and to be able to achieve that, this is where home has come into the picture. We've consistently, diligently, and committedly shared amazing insights when it comes to commercialization. So all you need to do is, follow up what we're doing, follow up on our sponsorship mastery channels on WhatsApp, where we consistently share insights. Also, our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay updated with all the latest commercial, educational insights we share. And also, you can also be part of our classes whenever we hold them. But that is it. You need to start positioning yourself for those changes. No, don't react to it. Just position yourself.